G'day, it's Rob here again. Well, I've been at it again. That chip shield that I fitted in the last video to the Shawblin lathe stand, I've gone overboard. I've gone crazy. I've actually painted it. A few people said, "Oh, you should paint that, Rob." And I thought, yeah, the outside, yeah, I will. It actually scrubs up good. It looks more complete, but it's interesting, I've left the inside of it galvanised. I did that for a reason. I'll come in close. You can see it looks pretty good, actually, I think the finish looks fine. And I deliberately didn't paint the inside because I reckon that galvanised would make the light work more efficiently. So I turn the light on, you can see the difference. Like it's pretty effective. And looking down here, this all lights up nicely. Yeah. So anyway, I've left it galvanised, and you can have some soft light or bright light, or I think it's okay. And this is just another bit of junk off the side of the road. It's got some Chinese written on it. I don't know what it says. Probably says Rob's a goose or something. Who knows? But anyway, I'll show you around the back of the shield. I think it turned out pretty nice. I'm quite pleased with it, considering it was just junk. You can see here that the blue colour looks pretty good. It blends in, it's all the same as the rest of it. I'll come up closer. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, don't you? It's it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than a bit of old cardboard, and it's well, yeah, it is dry. It's good and rigid, and doesn't wobble around at all. So anyway, that's that. I finished that job off. And I've been having a big tidy up around the place, doing jobs that have been piling up for years, and big clean up. Got that underway. Now the trouble with most workshops is you've never got enough room, You can see how much bench space I've got there. It's not much. It's enough, but it's not humongous. And quite often, you've got extra bits and you sort of move them away, so you put them aside so that you can get on with the main job. And I often work on the back of the ute, the old twin cab. I drop the sides down and just work on the tray on that because it's a big flat area. And anyway, I'll show you something that I've knocked up out of some of that rubbish I got recently, and I think it worked out pretty bloody well. I'll show you what I mean. Well, here it is. It's my homemade portable workstand with wheels. It's got wheels on it. And what it is, it's that bit in the centre is an old miter stand for a miter saw. And of course, it wasn't all there. The bit that you bolt the miter saw to was missing, or the chop saw. So I just had the base. So I thought, this is not much good for anything. And I thought, I can make a nice little table out of that. And I had that piece of heavy ply there, which is part of a humongous big box I got for free from a place that brings in pumps. And they're glad to get rid of the old timber, and I've used it to make all sorts of stuff, I'll come in close. So yeah, I put the timber on the legs. They just click out and lock in, and they fold out real easy. The timber's pretty heavy, it's about 8 ply, and I just bolted that onto some Dexian and made up the table, and it's really good. I'll put it up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's up. So you can see how much work area I've got. It's really good, and I can fit it in here, anywhere, you know. It's big enough to be useful, but not too big. I think the wheels are a great idea. The wheels really easily, and it all folds up. And, you know, I mean, it's not lightweight, it's quite solid. You could carry it out, but it's, you know, it's a fair weight. So a couple of wheels, and they're out of the way for most jobs. And if you want to saw something off on this end, you can always use the other end. So, no such thing as junk, as I've said quite a few times. Project-wise, I've been thinking about this little steam engine. I really like the steam engine. It's great. It runs really dead easy. And it runs for a long time on very little water or methane. And I like the action, I like the design of it. And I thought, I reckon I could replicate that, do it a bit different. I'd change around the configuration a bit. But I reckon I could use the same piston and valve design they've used. So I bought some brass, I got it off of Fleabay, and it was $26 Australian for 300 mil, and I've cut a bit off already. And I'm going to use this to make the vertical and the horizontal piston and valving. I've already machined the barrel, so that will be the barrel. And this will be the port. And I'm going to use inlet valves, old Holden inlet valves, GM inlet valves, because I can get an absolutely snug fit because I've got a reamer this size, and that is a perfect fit. That is absolutely as tight as you can get it. And once again, I'll separate these. They've got a monoblock design. I'll separate them. I have a cross tube, a link tube, so I'm going to have to fiddle around with it quite a bit, but that's the plan. And yeah, in this situation you do want super tight tolerances. I mean, I've always gone with tight tolerances. I can, you know, get them pretty close with my setup, but having a reamer like this, which is for Holden similar head valve guides, which is what these are, I can get an absolutely super snug fit. So that's the plan, and whether my eyes will let me do it, whether it'll be a bit long term, I'll just see how I go. I've been doing fairly bulky jobs lately because it's easier to, you know, there's less chance of stuffing up, let's put it that way, because judging things is a little bit tricky at the moment. But that's the plan anyway. That's the next project. Make a Rob's version of this, and I'm considering having the piston horizontal directly onto the flywheel, and having a rocker arm for the valve, so the whole thing would get canted over 90 degrees, and the drive will be on from the right hand side rather than that left hand side for the valving. Yeah, it's all doable. I'd do it with a separate boiler. I'd make the boiler separately. So that's what I'm thinking. Always thinking. It's a bit of a worry. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'm glad that table worked out as good as it did, and the chip guard, yeah, the chip shield, that looks pretty good, cool, and I think that'll work fine. So overall, things are going along quite well at the moment. And that's it for now. So, hope you enjoyed it. Maybe got a bit of incentive out of it. We'll see you next time. Cheers.